I like boobies. You like boobies. Vicky likes boobies.
You're tacky and I hate you.
Now, are there any damn questions?
Have you any idea what the street value of this mountain is?
This is a nice fish, you know? Big fucking eyes, but a nice fucking fish.
Now make yourself one, dickweed.
Sorry doesn't put the Triscuit crackers in my stomach, now does it, Carl?
But did you die? Maybe it's a 10-year plan.
Good evening, bottom feeders and underachievers. It's time for your weekly dose of free. And I know you're saying to yourself, but wait, we heard a weekend last week. Yes, you did. We've been over this several times. But this week, we're going back to the old Fix-It Flicks, where we take a movie that we think could be better, and we make it so. I am your host, Justin, as always, joined by
Mike.
Kyle's not available.
Vin.
And Joe.
And joining us this week,
James.
who's going to add
For no reason.
He's going to add
No.
nothing to this podcast.
He's going to be the one asking the questions. He'll be the proxy for the listeners that have never seen the movie.
Yeah,
That'll be me because I've never seen the movie.
that's what he said. Literally, what he just said. You heard him. I know you heard him.
Or did I?
Don't be
Did
you.
he?
Don't. All right, tonight, Superman Returns, 2006.
I thought we said Spaceballs. Never
Sir,
was.
Mel Brooks films don't need to be fixed.
They are chef's kiss of comedy.
They were.
They-
You can't make
They
a Mel
are.
Brooks movie better or worse. It's just a Mel Brooks movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This thing, however,
Yeah.
Kyle had asked in the group, mainly just to question me, if we're not allowed to jump straight into sequels of series, how come we're doing Superman Returns without doing the other Superman movies, whatever. And I said, well, we'll cover that. And then he couldn't be on the show, so I'm going to cover it anyway. I feel that because there's such a gap, that this movie is its own thing.
According to Bryan Singer, it eliminated 3 and 4, and this would be a direct sequel to Superman 2.
And in that vein, we have two decent. No, we have one really good movie, one pretty solid sequel, and then they just flush the two turds.
See, I eliminate the Richard Lester version and go right for the Donner cut.
That's what film school graduates do. Attendees.
I don't care what Bryan Singer says.
Bryan Singer says a lot of things, and most of it is brought up in court.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it is.
we're going to take Bryan Singer out of the fucking equation. And I'm going to say, well, considering no one from those other movies were in this movie at all, I'm going with that makes this a completely different movie.
Brando was. Was he?
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
CGI Brando was.
Archive footage for Jor-El. Yeah.
CGI Brando.
Well,
It's not exactly hologram Tupac, but
no. We can fix that though.
I want to go over a lot of things because we got to establish quite a bit here.
Yeah.
What actually works from what they did, and that's a very short conversation.
I would like to change the director before we even get into the crux of the movie.
Yeah.
No argument there.
Because, one, he probably wasn't even on set that much, because that's his bag. I haven't heard horror stories from this set like the other ones, but I'm sure him and Kevin Spacey were having a creeper off. So, Bryan Singer, you got to go.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of problematic in that.
Fired.
Yeah. So who are we replacing him with?
At that 2006?
Yes.
James Cameron. He can write a movie about giant blue creatures that go to Earth and they want to marry a princess, but all they get is Lois Lane and Superman ain't having it. Thoughts?
Bad.
Comments? Concerns?
Bad.
I can see Cameron doing this movie, and it probably would be pretty epic, especially at that time.
Cameron was a great director. He had a very concise vision once upon a time.
He was in line to do Spider-Man with Leo, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I think we shouldn't be dicking around trying to reinvent the wheel. Just bring Richard Donner back.
I'm for it.
Consistency. If this is, for all intents and purposes,
No.
a third movie in a trilogy,
We're erasing it from that trilogy. This is its own standalone movie.
so then it's not Superman Returns. It's just
That's
Superman.
why we're going to completely change this movie.
Okay, so then we're making another Superman movie. We're
Yes.
not changing Superman Returns.
No, yes, we
We're
are.
just-
We're changing
No.
Superman Returns.
No, because Superman Returns, like Joe said, is a build-off from two previous movies. We'd just be making a fresh Superman movie.
But
So
we
if
can
he's not
take.
returning.
But we could
he
take
comes.
the concept of
Superman
a Superman
Returns.
returning. Could still be the main plot of the film.
I never liked it to begin with.
But everybody knew who the fuck Superman was to begin with, right? It beats out the whole origin story trope.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to do a Superman movie and start it off with the origin nonsense.
Right.
Sure.
But we don't need it then. We can throw that out completely. Most of the world knows who Superman is. So I still think we could call it Superman Returns and just have it,
From where?
We'll build that backstory as we go. Right
Doesn't
now,
he do like a pilgrimage to the area where his planet exploded and he comes back?
yeah.
Yes, that's what happened in it. And I never liked that concept to begin with.
All right.
Yeah.
Me neither.
It's really, what was he going there looking for? More kryptonite to kill him?
I don't know. We can change that too, but we're not
that's
there.
Would it work if we found like
We're-
Kara
we're-
or something?
Director.
If we don't have a plot for this thing, how are we going to figure out who's directing it?
Because I think a decent director will give us where we're going to lead the plot. I have suggestions.
Okay.
Yeah.
End this pain.
JJ?
Alright, so wait, 2006 JJ?
Yes.
Had he even done Mission Impossible yet?
Tell you in a second.
I don't think his skills were up to that level yet.
He was deep in Lost. 2006.
So he wouldn't even have the time.
I want to see director, not fucking. There we go.
Did he direct that, or was he just producing? I know he directed
He was just producing.
pilot.
Yeah, he was the producer.
So he could have.
Oh, here we go. 2006. He was involved in Mission Impossible 3 in 2006.
All
He
right.
was starting it.
When did it start production?
Why is it I typed JJ into fucking IMDb? All right, sure.
Yeah, 2006. When did it come out? In 2006. I never made it through this movie. May 5th, 2006. Okay, so 2005, he was in production. So, yeah, 2006, JJ could have been doing a Superman movie.
Okay, what are the other options?
Hypothetical world.
Spielberg.
I don't think I'd want to see a Spielberg Superman movie.
No?
No.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't hate it. But that latter 2000 Spielberg.
What was he doing at that point? Was that like the AI Spielberg?
Yeah.
So it fits.
Does it?
Yes.
Why?
Because then we could do Brainiac.
Okay, so you're already jumping into plot.
I have ideas.
We haven't even established a director yet, and you're already throwing plot out.
I'm saying the director will lead us in places we can go. I told you
I'm talking about like what kind of movie what he would bring to it emotionally, not just character wise.
So Spielberg would be following War of the Worlds with Superman.
Alien on top of Alien, he'd never do it.
Right before Munich. Well, actually, War of the Worlds and Munich.
So he could do it. He'd do a little alien sandwich with Munich in
next
between.
Movie he did after that totally had aliens in it and Crystal Skull.
No, interdimensional beings, as a point of fact.
What about Tim Burton?
And he fights a giant spider?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you said it.
Well, we'll talk about him in our next show.
I
don't hate the Spielberg idea. I could see, like...
Okay, the only problem you have there is who's going to score it? John Williams.
John Williams.
John Williams has to recreate a Superman theme that's not the original Superman theme.
Yeah. Are you saying John Williams isn't creative enough to do that?
I'm saying I don't want to put John Williams through that. If John Williams is making a Superman movie, I want to hear the original Superman theme.
He can homage it.
No, because then that's pissing me off. That's the same shit they did with Justice League. No. If it's not the same universe, don't use the same theme. Don't fucking play with my emotions like that.
That's what, like, if...
Well,
if
Captain Pissy Pants, what suggestions do you have for a director then, huh?
Let's see. Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson might be a good choice.
Oh, good. So you have Superman that walks.
No. Because he could be riding on the back of a lizard dragon thing. Or swinging around, punching T-Rexes. They don't just walk.
Actually, that would be the previous movie he did. If we were going to go with Peter Jackson, it would be King Kong.
Yeah, he was right out of the Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Lots of CGI.
Oh. As with this.
Mm-hmm. I think Peter Jackson, and if we went to Jackson or Spielberg, his CGI would probably look better than what we got.
What you got?
Because automatically, we say if we're doing the director, we know we have to do the actor.
Nobody say Nicolas Cage. Vin,
no.
Don't say Nicolas Cage.
That was my first choice.
What was your first choice?
I would keep Ralph.
You would keep him?
No. If you're not continuing what we just did with Christopher Reeves, you don't bring a guy in specifically cast to look like Christopher Reeves.
He looks like Superman.
He looked like Christopher Reeves. There's been many other Supermen. Like they
all look like Christopher Reeves.
No, they don't.
Henry Cavill looked very much like him.
He didn't look any just because he's dark-haired and white.
Oh yeah, you
I'm dark-haired and white. I look nothing like Henry Cavill.
Why do you look like Superman so much?
James just said it.
Brandon Routh, his portrayal of Superman, he basically played Christopher Reeve.
Yeah.
Sure, because that's what they were going for.
But even his mannerisms, the way he spoke as Clark
Yeah,
Kent,
that's good.
and Superman,
Reeves did a great job, and if I could bring him back for this film, I'd do a continuation. But you can't. That's why it's not going to be a fucking sequel.
But you're going to take as many things as you can from the original.
Because it's the same story. It's Superman.
But that's the problem. You don't just have to do the exact same story.
I'm
Like you
not
said, you don't have
saying
to-
we're doing the same story. I'm not going to have him lift a fucking island of kryptonite out of nowhere.
No, not
I'm
the
not-
same story
no,
as that.
I'm not
The
giving
story
the
as
asthmatic
came
child.
before. It's not doing a same old Superman story. You could try something new with it. Like, try someone who doesn't look exactly like the guy who had just played him and was unfortunately in a fucking wheelchair at that point.
They're all going to, like, when you cast that character, they're all going to look like that. Unless
No, I'm
we're
not
going-
talking about broad strokes. The motherfucker looked like he was his son. They picked him because he was the spitting image of Christopher Reeve. Everyone heard that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
I got
yes, we
picked up.
did.
Not saying I've got someone better lined up, but like, and I'm not also not saying he was bad. He did a great job
He
in
did
a
a good
shit
job.
movie.
Right.
Yeah,
He's not a problem in that film.
never was the problem.
No.
Kevin Spacey's not a bad Lex Luthor. I
No.
wouldn't use the fucking character again.
I agree. Like
Yeah.
Spacey was not what the he was
wasn't
not
a
a negative point about that movie.
I would even consider like Affleck.
2006 Affleck.
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
way before he played George Reeves in that movie.
Time out. We're missing the best Clark Kent to ever grace the screen in Tom Welling.
You're
at
not.
that time.
You know what? I'm not against that.
If we're talking about Smallville the movie, although at this point the show was still on.
Yes, and he was younger at that point, so this would
Well,
be.
Right.
He
but
was a 30-year-old playing a 17-year-old.
Remember,
So,
Joe, we're not making this a continuation of the. It's not a continuation of the Reeves films.
Hey, if we want to go with, we don't do it at that exact point. In this universe we're creating, the
That show
movie
was
that
on
was
for 10 fucking years.
Yes, it was a 10-year series. It went on
Wow.
to the year before Arrow started.
It was
Wow.
supposed to end in 5,
I did.
so it lines up.
I did not know it went on that long. I watched the entire fucking time.
Yeah.
Did not realize it went till 2011.
10 seasons. Now, if we want to mess with history, do some chrono mess, and negate Bryan Singer's version, and we wait until 2010 and pick up with Smallville the movie, essentially, I could have fun with that. But they already did pretty much everything in there. I didn't see
There
all
wouldn't
every
be much
episode,
to
but I
do.
guarantee they did Brainiac.
Brainiac was done. The last thing was Apocalypse, and then the very final was Lex becoming president. So they had touched on a lot. So yeah,
They even
trying
did Doomsday in there, so there's not a lot of area to play.
and they did it better
So-
than that fucking BVS. bullshit.
Because the show was such a hit, they went beyond 5 seasons, but it was originally written for 5 years, 5 seasons. So if Tom Welling was signed on to play Superman following a 5-season run, that makes sense.
See, my problem is I'm looking at like some of the names for 2006. None of them are fitting the fucking bill.
There's only one.
Huh? We both talked at the same time.
Throw some names out.
Edward Norton,
No.
Jake Gyllenhaal,
But no.
Jim Carrey,
No.
Leonardo DiCaprio,
All types of no.
Russell Crowe.
No.
Not horrendous, but I wouldn't have picked him first.
Then you have Damon and Affleck.
There's also I'm reading Brendan Fraser. They were trying to develop a Superman movie for him, and then that got actually shelved for Superman Returns.
Wait,
I
a
don't
second.
hate that.
That's-
06 Fraser?
06 Fraser. So kind of
Fraser.
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 Yeah. So kind of
Not Niles.
post Mummy 2.
I'm double checking that.
Because I don't remember when the third one came out. Because
I'm
it
pretty
sucked.
sure he was still in his prime. Yeah, I saw 20 minutes of that third Mummy movie. I tapped out when she made that joke about being a totally different person. Like, literally, the woman they recast Rachel Weisz for, they forced her to say, a meta joke about her being recast, and I was like, you know what? I don't care if Jet Li's in this. I'm done.
So The Mummy 3 came out in 2008.
Yeah, so he's still in peak physical condition.
I fully support this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. If we're from scratching this shit, yeah.
I'm very down for that.
His Clark Kent, I would, yeah, I think he would be great at the dual role. And
If the concept is that we're going to keep the title Superman Returns, and he's already like it's a fresh
He's an
world.
established Superman.
Yeah, and he's coming back from doing something. Like maybe even it's the death or whatever. I would like Lex to be in it, but be in jail.
Do you want Lex in jail, or do we want Lex as like not an ally, but he's just like there?
I think the last thing that Clark did was take out Lex, like put him in jail, and he hasn't had to do like he's been in space fighting shit because there hasn't really been much else with Lex gone. It's been like humanity can take care of most of its problems. The only other things that are really bad,
His rogues gallery is pretty powerful, though. So, like, if Metallo shows up and Soups isn't around, he's gonna fuck shit up. You know what I mean?
about like Superman's trapped in the Phantom Zone and he finds a way out by using Mixaplex or something.
No.
That's a lot. I think it would be good if
He could have
it
just
starts
been off-world doing something with, like, the League. We could have the fact that the League's established.
I'd be down with that. But, like, or we could have it where he doesn't have that deep of a rogues gallery yet. All he's had is Lex and some smaller players, like Intergang. He took care of Intergang, he took care of Lex, he took care of a couple of them. He put them all, like, most of them are locked away, and there's nothing else for him to do on Earth, really. So, yeah, he does some stuff with the League off Earth. And there's whatever's going on, maybe it's like they're dealing with Apocalypse. They're dealing with Darkseid, and he's got to come home because it's Brainiac and it's Krypton related, and there's only one person who could deal with it. And then Act 3 has the League showing up to help
he's the
him.
only one fast enough to get back in time before it's completely, like, fucked.
I'd love Act 1 to be Earth without Superman, everything's going fine, we catch up with Lex, blah, 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 and then Brainiac shows up on the front door, and they're like, oh shit. And he kind of does what Zod did. Bring me Kal-El, bring me the last son of Krypton.
I like that. But let's go back to the cast for a minute of this movie.
We don't have a director still, right?
Did we? I thought we did.
Did we? No, because we were trying to figure out the perfect...
between Spielberg,
Peter Jackson,
and JJ. Those were the three.
I think if we're gonna stick with Brainiac, it's got to be JJ or Spielberg.
I like a younger, hungrier JJ. He still had a lot to prove at that point.
And this is like up his weird alley.
Yeah, because if I don't see the Spielberg Fraser happening at that time,
but you see JJ and Fraser working together.
Yes.
Pretty well.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to keep Lex, but he's kind of just a bit player, right?
Yeah. I would like to pull a little bit from what they did in the animated series, where at some point they have to get him out of jail to help, and it really just sticks in Superman's craw.
He has to go to him for help, and because the League's not there yet.
Oh, there's that, or I kind of like the President Lex thing. He's come back, and Lex is president.
I'm fine with, but things are running okay.
Yeah. And the only problem there is that Brainiac showed up. And not only does it piss off Lex that they need Superman again, like he's forced to bring Superman. Like, no, I can deal with you. I'm the president. And Brainiac's like, go fuck yourself. You don't matter, human. Bring me the last son of Krypton.
We have to, not even for whatever the issue is with Spacey, but like age-wise, for the version of Lex we need, I don't like Spacey in the role.
What age do you think? Comparable to Superman, or a little bit? I always think he should be at least
He should be
5 years older.
He should be a bit older, but he needs to have more authority than like Spacey can pull off. Spacey's good at being like smarmy, douchey, but you need someone who would actually like talk people into voting him fucking president. What do you got, Ben? What do you got? What are you doing?
I know.
What do you got?
For Lex Luthor?
Yeah.
Nick Cage.
No. Ben.
That time, so hot right now. 06, Nick Cage, slinging it.
His villains are too over the top. I don't want him face-offing.
If he was like if Lex was the main villain, there would be the over the top, but not with like not the main.
Even then, I was gonna throw this name out for Superman, but I think he would make a really solid Lex. Gerard Butler.
2006 Gerard Butler.
He's not far off from 300.
I'm picturing bald.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever done anything with that's bald. Just buzzed. He's got strength, like physical strength.
He's intense.
He's got charisma.
I don't hate it.
It's not the best of the best of the best with honors, but it's strong.
Oh, what about?
Do you have an idea, Joe? Like, we don't want him to be wormy, right? We don't want him to be.
No, I don't want him to be wormy.
Wayfish.
Giamatti's only a year older than Fraser.
I don't.
No.
That's surprising.
06 Giamatti.
What about Norton? I think he'd make a decent Lex.
He doesn't have the build. Not that Lex needs to be jacked, but like he needs to
broad shoulders.
Yeah.
Well, think of him in American History X.
Still.
I would actually like Giamatti as Chief, as Perry White. I wouldn't want him as Lex.
What about Norton as Brainiac?
That's a good
like
fucking
that.
choice,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah, I like that.
That's a good
I
choice.
like all of that.
Nice. I contributed.
Yay. Still need a Lex.
Jackman. But
Jackman?
Same age as Fraser.
That still surprises me even more.
Yeah.
What about The Rock? At that time, dude, you buzz his head. He's not overtly jacked.
He wasn't a good enough actor then yet.
Yeah, he had a lot to do left.
He walked tall, though.
I remember. I watched it recently.
Yeah.
He was still stuck in the Southland telling tales.
I like The Rundown.
Jamie Foxx.
I thought about Jamie Foxx as Lex. I don't hate it. I
don't like him as a villain.
I love him as a villain.
He's too funny. Like, he's just a funny guy to me. Like, I can't take him seriously.
That's why,
charisma.
though. Because he has the kind of charisma and charm that Lex does, but he plays like he's got like a certain gravitas to him.
It would have to be a very different Lex, coming from the same logical place that Bernardin laid out why you can't have a black Bruce Wayne.
Right.
Lex comes from old money. There isn't a lot of black old money, so it would be a hard sell. It would have to be a scrappy, up-and-coming kind of kingpin like Lex, who made his place.
Because of that and being from the people would be the reason that he got the presidency.
Because you would be getting a post-Ray Jamie Foxx.
Yeah.
Because he did that in 2004.
Yeah.
He did Stealth in 2005, so he was pretty jacked at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and coming off of a shit movie like Stealth, he would want a strong character like Lex.
Yeah. Because then he did Miami Vice, and
we all know what happened.
That was a drug fest.
Yeah.
On and off screen. Okay, while we just mentioned Miami Vice, we have,
Trying
Jamie
to
Foxx.
would like to diversify a little bit.
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
That's Lex?
He's still white, though.
I don't.
Right. I mean, I'm not saying we can't do Jamie, but like Colin Farrell's proven how good he is. I just want to throw his name out there to see
that
if
either. I'm picturing him in the bald cap.
My only
What
problem
about
is
Sammy Jackson?
bald Colin Farrell makes me think of Bullseye.
It does.
What about Sammy Jackson?
That's a fucking ooh.
I don't hate that either.
I don't hate that either.
You guys want to do a little color swap? I think he brings it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, he kind of commands the screen opposite Fraser. He's kind of got that, like,
Yeah.
stoic yet bravado.
He could be charming
Yeah.
on his surface and then just go nutty when he needs to. Hey, Kyle.
Hey, dude.
And there's
Hi, dude. Yeah, I like that. Good, Vinny. Good choices tonight, bud.
Dude, I'm like the smartest person Megan's ever met. It's crazy. He works with doctors. Let that sink again. You just said that.
Okay.
She said it.
One of my least favorite things in the movie is Kate Bosworth.
I agree. She was awful.
She is
not
going.
Yeah. Do we take a risk and put him side by side with someone he's already worked with that's incredible and pull Rachel Weisz in? I mean, I love her and everything.
I love her, but let's get rid of her also. We're not bringing The Rock in. Lucy Liu.
Wait. It's JJ.
Yeah.
Yes.
Felicity.
Yeah. Yes.
Who's Felicity?
Oh, she was
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
No, Carrie Russell.
Carrie Russell. Yeah.
Carrie Russell.
Fucking perfect.
I could see her playing that ballsy reporter.
She's got it.
Going for any story. Yeah.
Yeah, especially
Is
after
that the chick from Pirates?
No.
No.
Cocaine
that's
Bear.
Keira Knightley.
And you guys don't like Catherine Zeta-Jones?
She's the mom in Cocaine Bear.
Man, I like Catherine Zeta-Jones, but I don't want to run her down. She's too sexy.
Yeah, she's way too attractive.
Distractingly gorgeous.
Catherine Zeta-Jones could be the Wonder Woman in that movie. And
Oh,
and
six,
and you're
yeah.
fucking
Oh,
right.
that's perfect.
Look at
Yeah.
that, we're slinging it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Carrie Russell's fucking perfect.
Do we want to go with Giamatti as Perry White? Oh, we already threw that one out there. I think that's a surprisingly good choice. Although he's a bit young at the time.
It's
if
fine.
he's the same age.
It's fine, I think. Because he looks older.
He does.
Yes.
Yeah, he looked older from Private Parts. He
was
older.
born 40.
Yeah. So we're getting rid of James Marsden's character.
Gone.
We don't
Gone.
need the whole she had a
This
kid
is
with
not
him.
the same
so
movie,
this is
even a little.
all
We're
of
not
it.
even talking about that character. The only reason he showed up is because Bryan Singer wanted to fuck him.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Jimmy Olsen.
Sam Huntington plays Jimmy Olsen in this one.
He was all right, but I think if we're going to go whole cloth with this thing, Chris Rock was almost Jimmy Olsen at one point.
Wow.
And this movie needs a bit more levity, and I'd love to see him and Brendan Fraser play off of each other.
Yeah. That's good. I like it.
Chris Rock was a little older at that time, though.
That's all right. He could be the guy that never made it farther in the fucking newspaper.
I'd actually like to see Jimmy Olsen not just be a little schmucky character. I think at that time, photography still is really important.
Yeah.
He's their best photographer. He's their Peter Parker, essentially.
We'll bulk up that character a little bit, you know? Like,
Yeah.
he's not just the little fucking wet noodle.
Mm-hmm.
Gee willikers, Clark.
The reason he gave him the watch is because he's one of the few people he trusts to make that kind of smart decision. To be like, hey, man, I need you here. I know where something's going wrong. Let me hit this little button on this watch and bring Superman in. Like, he's not just a dumbass in distress.
Are we bringing in Martha Kent at all, or Jarrell in this story?
I don't think we need to. If we're going to have the dynamic be Lex has been running things fine. Now he can't. He needs Clark.
I think it's nice to have a Martha to humanize Clark. We don't need Jor-El. We already know how powerful he is. We don't need the Kryptonian angle as much.
We could have, like, there could be something between Brainiac and Jor-El, a little flashback.
It could help further the story if it needs it.
Then we get Gandolfini to play Jor-El. It's
Are you saying that jokingly? Because I kind of like it.
No, I was being serious.
Yeah.
Great Jor-El. I like it.
I can picture him. Hey, Gal, come here. Let me talk to you for a second. Come here. I gotta tell you something.
You think you're gonna take over my fucking planet? You with your fucking big brain, you're gonna try and destroy Krypton? Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna launch you off of this fucking planet. It's the last time I invite you to fucking dinner at my house.
See?
Fuck him.
It works.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And let's not forget, that's not what he actually sounded like.
Yeah.
He can actually do a lot of really great accents. And don't forget, he was in Get Shorty as a Southern dude.
Yeah.
So he could probably do a British accent if we want to keep Kryptonians British. I think Martha might be a good idea to have in there.
Who do we get as Martha?
Martha.
Betty White.
She's too old, I think.
Sally Field?
I was going to say Sally Field.
It's hacky.
Okay, let's... Jane Fonda?
Gina Davis.
Dude, I was going to say Gina Davis. Yeah.
She wasn't that old at that point.
In 06?
No, she really wasn't.
Joe, I'm going to need you to produce here because I'm writing down our cast.
Gina Davis. I should just be able to search it in here.
Yeah, I think it would be very close. They'd be way too close in age.
She was... God, how old was she in that time?
When was she born?
She was born in... Let's see. When the fuck was she born? 56.
Oh. So
she's 12 years older than he is.
Yeah. And it's not the first time that's happened. And also, she's very tall. I don't know if Ma Kent should be as tall as Superman.
What did she do in 2006? She was actually... She played President Mackenzie Allen and Commander-in-Chief.
Not saying anything. What's going on there?
I don't know. We got weird.
Echo.
Okay, so far, who do we got casting this? We got Clark / Superman as Brendan Fraser. Lex is Jamie Foxx. Lois
is it, or is it Sam Jackson?
Yeah,
no, that's Sam right. Jackson. We went Sam Jackson. Lois is Kerry Russell.
Mm-hmm.
Brainiac is Edward Norton. Perry White was who?
Perry White was Giamatti.
Okay.
Jimmy Olsen was Chris Rock.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture of Gina Davis from...
Jor-El was Gandolfini.
I'm the head of science on Krypton. They told me, the guy who knows everything about science on Krypton, that this fucking planet's not going to explode.
We're stuck on a Martha. We know our Wonder Woman is Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Why don't we go Sarandon if we're going to go with Bellman, instead of Susan Sarandon?
He's got to be around the same age as Gina Davis. That's
yeah.
But she was always older, and she looked older. She always looked older.
Classic. Jane Fonda.
Susan Sarandon was 1946, so she's got 10 years on Gina Davis. I don't hate Jane Fonda. Jane Fonda was a great actress.
Isn't she a bit too old, though?
80 now, so that would make her...
Jane Fonda...
Late 60s?
1937, so she's got 20 years on Gina Davis.
This is the worst part about Hollywood. it's hard to think of women of that age range because there's so few of them.
Yeah. Without like...
So few of them that are allowed to take important roles.
Yeah.
But if you're going to look at the height difference, too, Jane Fonda's 5'7", so she would look smaller compared to Brendan Fraser. So, yeah, I could see them I could see Hollywood.
We don't have
the makeup on her.
A huge name. The mom from Dee Wallace, the mom from E.T.
Ooh, what did she do then? She
hasn't been in a ton of stuff. She wasn't in a ton of stuff for a while. I think she went. She's one of those got out of Hollywood, and I'm pretty sure she went to the theater because it's less bullshit.
Theater.
2006, actually. Oh yeah, she did stuff that nobody heard of.
She's probably doing.
Does she look like she could be his mom?
Oh,
or no, like.
Martha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them to be. I don't want her to be too old, but like old enough.
I'm going 2006. Her.
Because let's not forget, in E.T., she had a kid who is mid-teens, and I'm pretty sure Brendan Fraser would be around his age. She had a mid-teen kid and like a 10-year-old.
Right.
So Brendan Fraser's probably close to Elliot's age. I think that works really well.
It's a good pick. All right. As far as I'm concerned, we have 4 more roles to cast.
Okay.
We need a Batman, a Flash, a Green Lantern, and a Martian Manhunter.
Okay, I refuse to accept any Batman that have been cast before. I don't want to hear.
We're making this a completely different thing.
Bruce Wayne.
Yes,
Okay.
Bruce Wayne is Batman, yeah.
I know.
I'm gonna rattle some names off. Okay. Travolta, Tom Cruise.
It's not much rattling.
I'm thinking if we're gonna go with a Barry Allen at that time, 06. Damon.
Matt Damon's gonna be the Flash. He's gonna go run really fast and go travel through time sometimes if he's gotta.
Barry Pepper.
Yeah, that guy didn't really catch.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
He's
same as Hal too.
Respected, but didn't get enough love after the handful of things he did in the early 2000s.
And was in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
And
he would respond to the name really easily.
61, right? That was him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was Roger Barris.
Yeah, I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, he's in a lot of really great stuff. Remember that movie where him, Seth Green, Vin Diesel, and another dude were sent out into the middle of the country because they were mafia guys? Knockaround guys.
Yeah. Good fucking
he's
movie.
Been good in
underrated movie.
Yeah.
So him as Barry?
Him as Barry.
Okay.
Barry for Barry.
We just said his name. Obviously, Vin Diesel would play Green Lantern.
No, he wouldn't.
I'd be okay with him as Martian Manhunter.
I would be fine with him as Martian Manhunter.
I hunt Martians, and
he could do his Iron Giant voice.
Yeah. Justice League is my family.
We need a GL and a Batman.
John Stewart.
Or John Stewart.
I say John Stewart. He was, at that time, that's who Green Lantern was.
Green Lantern?
I'd actually be cool with a couple. If they're out in space doing shit, both of them.
But then it's too much. Then we're piling too much.
You could put Jamie Foxx there. You said he was in shape at that time.
Fuck yeah.
Jamie Foxx would be a great John Stewart.
Yeah.
You could do Ryan Reynolds as Green Lantern.
Shut up, James. He hasn't
Ryan
seen
Reynolds
it.
is Batman? Did he say?
No, as Green Lantern.
Jude Law. Batman. Jude Law.
Too skinny faced.
He's not a horrible... I've never heard his American accent, though.
How about The Rock as
Where's
Batman?
Joe? What happened to Joe?
I don't know.
What the Joe?
We lost Joe.
Anyway, okay.
JoJo'd.
It's
Just the audio portion for right now.
I don't know. Like maybe he lost power. Batman. Are we gonna go with Bruce is a bit older? Bruce is similar in age to our Clark?
I like similar in age. I don't want to do the Affleck thing that Snyder did.
Okay.
I'll throw the name Gerard Butler out there again. See if his face fits.
I think the biggest problem with Butler is he's got that. I'm talking right now, and he's got like that side jaw thing. Like it's too obvious. He's Batman. You gotta talk to me something over here.
This is Sparta.
Yeah, his English, his American English accent isn't great.
He's also like ugly handsome.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. He's that Daniel Craig, like all women love him, and you look at him, you're like,
But then you look at him long enough, and you're like, I don't know.
Ruggedly handsome. Emphasis on the
What are we talking about?
We're trying to pick a Batman.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I lost the internet.
Camera.
We saw.
You're on your phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here, I'll drop a couple that are all born in '68, so same age as Brendan. Jackman.
Two associated Wolverine.
Josh Brolin.
Ooh, so he would have a great Batman voice. Okay, he's top of my personal list.
Aaron Eckhart.
He was almost a Batman. I think he was considered by Nolan.
Yeah.
But he falls under
Eric Bana.
He's not bad. But he's another one. His American accent isn't as good as it could be.
I agree. Timothy Olyphant.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't want my Batman sidling up, like walking up sideways. And are you sure you got everything planned? Because I got everything planned. I'm Batman.
I want some of my belt, my utility belt. You know what's in this utility belt? I'll tell you what's in this utility belt. Batarang.
Can you grab your laser quicker than I can grab my Batarang? Now he's just become McConaughey.
I don't think so. There we go. McConaughey? All right. In the Batmobile, we're going to go take a ride. Great ride.
I'm rich, man. I got
Owen
money.
Wilson.
Wow.
It's fun. 6'5".
Luke Wilson? No.
Too young.
Oh, he's a younger brother?
Casper Van Dien.
We want a quality performance, right?
I know, but he's got the face.
It's that Affleck, Affleck chin.
It's chiseled.
You know who that guy is.
I like Brolin the most so far because I feel like if he was ever cast as Batman at that time,
he'd
do a great Dark Knight Returns rendition. He would kill it.
Yeah, I think we should stick with Brolin.
Yeah, I agree. And him and Fraser.
Oh yeah. No more flogging this deceased equine.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move into our plot. We started to suss this out earlier. Superman had existed in this world. He's gone off world for dealings with Darkseid. Lex is president. Everything's running fine. Until
do we flippity flop it where the League is still on Earth and
or
they got their
Watchtower?
Nah, because I'm nothing against Superman or his abilities, but like Wonder Woman's the same fucking hero. And if she can't take Brainiac, what makes it so that he can?
Well, she's got strength levels, but he's got like.
Plus, if they're all there, it makes them all look fucking weak as shit. And we know that Bruce has already like figured out ways to take them all down. So I'd rather them be off-world, and like the scenario is, he's the only one who can get back quick enough to deal with this threat.
He can outrun the invisible jet. You sure about that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you think that thing is going into space?
We don't know what kind of jet it is.
It doesn't matter.
Could be a space.
Earth-made jet.
Yeah.
many
Okay,
times
so by the
does
end of the first
someone
act,
smash their face into the
Clark
invisible
is on his way
Lots.
home. His second act, he gets back. He's got to deal with the fact that Lex is running shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't have much time to do anything. Like this is gonna have to be a fast-paced story. If Brainiac comes to the Earth and is fucking shit up, this isn't like him getting home and seeing his mom at all.
Right.
We'll have to cut back to her every once in a while. Like she'll be the human reaction point.
Yeah. Or maybe she's the one who reaches out to Clark in the first place.
She has some Kryptonian tech still left on the farm. No one else can get in touch with him. Even Lex with all of his super science nonsense.
Yeah, the League gave certain people, like, Carol Danvers space pagers, and...
Just the ship. Yeah, there's still stuff left there.
So maybe that's her and Lois's arc is, Lois hightails it out of fucking...
Metropolis?
Out of Metropolis.
Or does Brainiac come to her because it knows that they have a connection? Find me Kal-El.
Or maybe Brainiac goes to all three of them.
Would he know that it's Kal-El is Clark?
Yeah.
He's just going to cut all pretense, and he's like, I can scan all of Earth's information. It's obvious this dude is Clark Kent. You're his mom.
We make him that big of a threat from the get-go. It's like he already knows it. This is what I want. And I'm going to go to the three people that could potentially get him before I have to start fucking shit up. Because Brainiac might not even want to fuck shit up at first. He's like, the three of you can get a hold of him. If not, I'm going to fuck your planet up.
You know what? That makes me think of a concept. He doesn't even come and do any real explosions. He comes, they start attacking him. The army starts attacking him. They can't do shit against him. The armies get decimated, so we have our action set pieces there.
Right.
But he doesn't actually attack any cities. I'm jumping to the end of the story here, to what I think the big swerve could be. When Clark gets back and they finally go head-to-head, at first Brainiac stops him, puts him on lockdown, and his big thing is that he's going to take Clark, obviously, shrink him down, put him in a bottle city. Clark has to decide what city survives. What city's going to get put in the bottle. That's the fucked up Brainiac thing. He's going to Sophie's Choice Superman.
There you go. Yeah, I like that.
The whole rest of the world is going to be destroyed, except for this one place.
Yeah, I didn't destroy your planet because I wanted you to pick.
Yeah. What do you think is the best representation of Earth?
Because the rest of them are fucking dead.
Yeah. And
that's good.
By the end, we get Kandor. Maybe not the whole thing is opened up, but it would be pretty interesting if Kara Zor-El was never sent away and she was in Kandor and figures out a way to get out. I mean, that's a B plot that it would be hard to just interject her in at the end of the movie. But maybe there's something going on Kandor.
She's our post-credits.
Okay.
This way we don't have to worry about cramming that whole thing in there. We can have him explain what Kandor is.
Oh, yeah, you gotta set
Clark.
it up.
He's like, I know this sounds fucking terrible, but I've done it before. And he fucking monologues.
Oh, I just thought of a disturbing scene where he shows him Kandor, and we have one of those, iris things where you look down, you can zoom in on stuff, and he's like, here is your last relatives. And as he's describing it, he's like every other society, they grow, and sometimes they outgrow their size. So he uses the iris to kill Kryptonians to maintain the population in Kandor.
Yeah.
That's how fucking twisted he is. And he doesn't just do it to Kandor. He does it to every city he's got.
Right.
Yeah. I'm a fucking sadist.
Yeah, but it's good because it makes his villain so much different than like your average comic book movie villain.
Yeah. He thinks he's maintaining order in that Thanos-y kind of way,
Yeah.
but in a much more, I wouldn't say cerebral, but cold and mechanical way.
And then we could get some lens flares in this scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is JJ.
But this is pre 09 Trek, so he hasn't figured out lens flares yet.
He didn't use them in Lost?
No.
I don't think so. I remember watching behind the scenes stuff, and he's like, yeah, I watched some movies where they were using these, and I really liked them. And I'll admit, I overused it. I got lens flare drunk.
Yeah, and then the League gets there at the end because it ain't looking too pretty for our boy.
Did they have to break him out?
They're going to have to.
Maybe one of the first act things is that Clark managed to get rid of all of the kryptonite on Earth. As usual, the only person who has kryptonite
Bruce.
is Bruce. And Brainiac, of course, has some. And Clark's like, of course, I'm going to stop you. I'm Superman, blah, blah, blah. Goes in. Oh, shit, kryptonite.
No.
He's locked up now. Do the whole ants and a magnifying glass scene, which I'm really annoyed that we're not making this movie because I want that fucking scene.
Yeah.
Wait, what scene?
I do want, after the final battle and Brainiac is defeated, Lex has to obtain that remnants of kryptonite.
Oh, yeah. If we're doing more than one post-credit scene, the first one is Lex getting his hands on some kryptonite. And the second one is Clark with Kandor. And does Kara get out of there?
I think Kara, because the bottle would be on Earth, it would be exposed to the sun. And then she could...
But do all of them come out?
Maybe that sets up what the second movie could be.
The War of the Supermen.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any act gaps we need to fill in here? Because, we're not actually writing the script, but I think we've got most of it broken down.
Pretty covered, I think.
By Act 3, the League shows up, and most of them get their asses kicked, I'm thinking.
They're at least trying to buy time for, I'd say, Batman and Wonder Woman to break Clark and Lex out of jail.
I'd say it's just they're buying time for Batman to get his hands on the kryptonite.
It's fine. We could do that too.
Whatever can stop Clark from being hurt, from being weakened. Because Brainiac knows a full-strength Kryptonian can just tear him apart.
Right.
And he only has so much kryptonite. His arrogance is, I only need this much kryptonite to stop you. Everything else I have can stop anyone else here. All I need is this to put you in your place. And as soon as that little jewel, a little fucking kyber crystal-sized piece of kryptonite's gone, Clark is set free.
Yeah.
And then Act 3 is ass-kickery.
Of course.
I see the Lex scene, and you zoom in on a laser cutting like a ring, like a gem in a ring, and it's the kryptonite. He puts the ring on.
Yeah, and the last shot is him closing the lid on it, so you don't know what it is, and it's just an L.
And then goes to address the nation.
Wait, he's got a Legion?
No, for Lex. But that could, people would think.
What would be a fun little Easter egg is if when he closes the ring, it's the skull dome looking thing that the
Legion,
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You got the League. Yeah.
Now, by the end of the movie, is Lex still president, or does he do something to Lex himself out of the position?
I think it's just when he tells the world he can defeat Brainiac, and then he goes and he just gets his ass beat by Brainiac. People kind of lose faith in him.
Yeah. It would be interesting if it's he's been doing it for one term, and it's like
It's election time.
October.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is pivotal that this shit gets fixed by him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. Fuck, this might be my favorite Fix-A-Flicks we've done because there's already so many layers to it.
We need a time machine now.
We took a really not great movie.
I saw that in the movies.
So
Stephen
did
King.
so
I
did
saw it in the movies too.
Yeah. I saw it with Kyle, actually. And we then proceeded to eat a crave case after.
So, actually, speaking of Crave Case, so is Cal Penn going to be in this, and are we going to give him actual lines?
No. I mean, we could put him in there. I got nothing against the man. Hey, if we weren't having Chris Rock, we could probably, you know what? It would make more sense for Cal Penn
to be Jimmy Olsen. Okay.
And actually give him lines, because that was one of the worst things about Superman Returns. You cast Cal Penn, and he said nothing.
One of the worst things?
Well, it's in a succession of crap.
It's just a dumb, pointless decision in a movie full of horrible decisions.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens when you have a director who doesn't really direct.
No, it's like, what are we going to have Superman do? He's going to lift the island of Kryptonite. Okay.
You know, every rule that applies to Superman,
Throw it out the
forget
window.
him.
Out the window, kids.
Don't even think about him.
And while he's lifting this island of Kryptonite, he's already been stabbed with Kryptonite, and a piece of it is inside him.
Mm-hmm. That's how cool he is, though. That's how super this man is.
He was so super. That's why he did it.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't Superman anymore. He was super-de-duper, man.
Super
He was
duper.
super dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We are not even bringing up the concept of him being a father in this movie.
Super dad. He did the ultimate. I'm just gonna run to the store for milk.
I gotta go find Krypton. I'll be back.
Dad needs a pack of cigarettes in a galaxy far, far away.
I know. Well, you know what it was, dude? He probably thought that he would shotgun blast through her back. And he's like, "Whoa, you survived."
What do you mean?
Weird.
He knew it happened. He finished.
I
She
know he
didn't
finished,
die, and then he was like, "Okay."
The Superman lore is his wiener's like a shotgun blast.
Actually,
Right,
this is where
but-
the Donner cut
but when
comes
he-
in. With
But
the
when he
succession.
leaves, she's still alive after the act.
I know.
He
That's what I'm
didn't
saying.
just-
He's kind of like
he didn't hit it and quit it.
Now, obviously, he pulled out, but a little pre was in there.
No, no,
Right.
he went full, and then when she didn't die, he was like, "What's wrong with me? I wanted it to happen, kinda," and that's why he fucks off the outer
Yeah, I
space.
know.
for-
She was really pissing
12
me off.
years.
And I thought it would happen.
I'm like, come on, you're undercutting a decent character. He thought he pulled out, did a little X-ray vision, was like, oh no, oh what do I do? Oh, what do I
And then
do? Oh
leaves.
shit. What's that? I'm hearing something from space. I'm hearing someone scream in space.
Ugh.
But
Where you go? I gotta go.
I gotta go play Space Lottery. I gotta get some space scratch-offs.
Space scratch offs.
What's that? What's that? ATM, there's a tornado?
He just-
All right, be back.
If there's a tornado, I'm not going to save you, just like I don't my dad in a future
Yeah.
movie.
There's a hurricane on Bleep Blorp 5. It's gonna take a couple of years. 8 to be safe.
Yeah.
That movie sucked.
That's a great ending.
Yeah, that was a great fix it.
Yeah. I want that movie now.
All right, so if you like what you hear, you can do all the things Kyle normally says. It's been 10 years of it. I'm not going over it. Buy t-shirts, prowrestlingtees.com/nerdities, NERDATIES. Lots of t-shirts there. If you want some Disney-related t-shirts, go to can'tstoptheropedrop.spreadshop.com.
You have to work on that name.
You
know, ropedrop.com is not taken.
Is it really? Not?
Yes.
Can't stop the root.
Yeah, but Rope Drop Radio is a podcast. So I can't, it's like, it's got to be the whole name if it's going to be related to us.
Or CS Rope Drop. Like something to speed that up.
Could. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Anyways. Disney-related shirts, hoodies. Let's be honest. We're probably going to move the entire Nerdity shirt catalog to that site.
Yeah.
Because money-wise, it's the best bang for the buck. Because it's equivalent to what we make on a shirt now. And it gives Joe the variety of shit he wants all the logos to be on. I want to punch you in the face, by the way. I'll get to that in a second.
During your research, you saw just how daft you were being, Joe.
SinfulCreationsByJustin.com will get you all the sweet treats you want. I had a very busy week last week. It was glorious. Lots of treats to be had for the peoples. And we'll be launching our July flavors by the end of this week so that everyone can get their orders in for 4th of July weekend, including the stuffed s'mores cookie. That is a graham cracker, a square of chocolate, a marshmallow, covered in chocolate chip cookie dough, and baked.
God. That's the one I'm most interested in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be tight. Mm-hmm.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yum, yum,
I just
yum.
gained 10 pounds thinking about it.
Yeah.
Alright.
There's that. Can't Stop the Rope Drop podcast, available everywhere you get your fine free podcasts. I don't know if iTunes has added us completely yet, but Spotify did, and everybody else who's
Wait, it's on already?
a lot quicker. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Shirt Shop's live.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Yeah, support it with a show. Okay, so that's everything? That's all the whoring?
Yeah, I think that's all the way.
Oh, do you have to say your stuff, Joe?
Sponsor Nerdities, email nerdities@gmail.com. Let us do more fun things. Go to YouTube, find Nerdities channel. Subscribe to us. Hit the bell to get notified when we drop new content. And if you want to subscribe, we will croon, we will swoon, we will plug your shit. Yeah. So if you could keep us doing fun things that we enjoy doing.
And we got a fun one coming up.
Yes, we do.
We got some interesting stuff. Oh, the kids, it only took a decade, but we're coming into our own.
Yeah.
Thank you all for the views. We got a great turnout for these new videos.
And
Keep them coming.
Because of
Need a
that,
hand.
we've got some more coming your way.
Yeah. The opinions of the Nerdities crew are idiotic and already next week's would be far more insulting. And this is where we say, fuck bye. Bye-bye. Still healing it up.
And why should I care?